You see, if you never heal from what hurt you, you'll bleed on people who never cut you. I gotta be honest with you, when it comes to relationship pain and when it comes to heartbreak, it's a drive-through only matter. You can't go around it. You can't avoid it. The only way to get over it is to actually face it and drive through it.
High performance people fly like eagles. Eagles fly alone. Zuckerberg has no mates. Elon Musk has no mates. Steve Jobs had no mates. Bill Gates has no mates. And I can go on and on and on and on. They don't hang. They don't chill. They don't go to the Super Bowl. They don't go to the World Cup. They don't go to Wimbledon. All they do is work. I fall into that category.
Rich people don't sleep 8 hours a day. That's a third of your life. It ain't but 24 hours in a day. You cannot be sleep 8 hours a day. The Bible says he who loves to sleep and the folding of hands, poverty will set upon you like a thief in the night. I'm gonna ask you one question, I'm gonna go. How many of you in here know somebody who loves to sleep? Let me ask you something. AJ Poe?
You got 24 hours in a day. 8 hours you sleep, and most people work 9 to 5. So 8 hours you work. Okay, so we have 16 hours. We got breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So we'll be at night. There's 19. Take you an hour to get ready. So we have 20 hours. So you guys cannot spend 4 hours going to they lying. Oh, I like this photo. Oh, they faking. Sending photos to other people. Y'all got to get focused. I'm where I'm at because I'm focused. Tunnel vision. I'm focused on what I got to do. Y'all got to have a game plan.
If you didn't make it in your 20s, you can make it in your 30s. And if you didn't make it in your 30s, you can make it in your 40s. And if you didn't make it in your 40s, you can make it in your 50s. And just remember Grandma Moses. She was a painter. And she didn't start painting until, I think, in her 80s. And one of the most prolific painters.
Never too late.
Never too late.
Never
So
too
have fun.
late.
That's what it's all about.
Losses are part of life. I've lost in kickboxing. I've lost in boxing. I've lost in life. I've lost in love. I've lost in family. Like, life is, you don't just win all the time. It's wins and losses. So you roll with the punches.
You don't trust that someone's never going to betray you. You just trust that you'll be able to handle it if they do. That you'll be able to walk away. That's a massive key to it. Stop worrying about whether you can trust someone else. Maybe you can't. We don't know that. Only time will tell if you can trust somebody else. That is a pointless waste of your energy to worry about. Worry only about yourself.
I'm dead, I'm in heaven, you're God. I imagine it was a big long line and you got judgment. David, congratulations, you made it to heaven, how you feel? And right now I'm a 300-pound man. You pull the paper down, it says David Goggins. I'm reading it. And it has my name, but on this paper it says everything about you. Everything, because God knows all. 185 pounds, Navy SEAL, changed people's lives, all these amazing things. I look at God and say, God, the name is right, but what's on here is not me. He goes, it should have been. This was the life that you were supposed to live, but you didn't try. So this is the life that you have.
First we shine the shoes, then we own the shoe shops. First we make the sandwiches, then we own the restaurants. First we clean the houses, then we own every house on the block. And then we believe in ourselves, we work hard, we take full advantage of the American dream and the opportunity. And then we end up with a Hollywood star on the block in Los Angeles. Play with it.
One thing I learned in life, you can never bring somebody up if they don't want to go up. You can't. No matter how good you think you are, no matter how much you want to tell them, you can help them. If they don't want to go up, there's nothing you can do. But the reverse is not true. Somebody bad can bring a good person down. Because the negativity in the world is much, much stronger than the positive sometimes. The negative people can bring you down. So I stay away from negative people. I just walk away from them.
God didn't promise us a problem-free life. We ain't never gonna have that. You're never gonna experience life and feel like, you know what, everything is good all the time. But there has to be something inside of you, even right now today, that decides you're gonna win no matter what. No matter what comes at you, no matter what was already said about you, no matter if you don't have your parents, no matter if you don't have family, you have to know and decide today, right now, that you are going to be one of the ones in this room that wins.
Either you work hard for it, or you don't work hard for it. Well, me and my brother, we work hard for our stuff. It don't come easy. In life, you have to work. Either you want to be the shark of the ocean, or the fish of the ocean. And right now we want to be the shark. take over everything. Strength, no weakness. Power, the muscle. Have to have that mindset. So you're gonna come in here and dominate.
Einstein said that if you cannot tell your goal to a 6-year-old child and have the 6-year-old child explain it to another 6-year-old child and both of them understand it, then you don't know what your goal is yourself. So ask yourself, is your goal so clear that you could tell it to a 6-year-old child and the 6-year-old child would not only understand what the goal and would could tell you how close you are to it?
No matter what you've done, you have the right to be forgiven. I don't let nobody hold me to the mistakes I made. Look, man, once God forgive me, I'm through with you. You can feel how you want to feel about me, but you can't drive your car looking in the rearview mirror. See, you got to get your eyes off the past and look at where you're going.
I didn't have an easy experience. I didn't have come in as a top-rated recruit. I didn't come in with the opportunity to play right away. I had to earn it. And you know what the greatest honor I've ever received as a player is? In my 4th year and my 5th year, I was named team captain. That, to this day, is the single greatest achievement I've ever had as a football player. Because the men in this room chose me to lead their team.
Last but not least, I want to thank me. I want to thank me for believing in me. I want to thank me for doing all this hard work. I want to thank me for having no days off. I want to thank me for never quitting. I want to thank me for always being a giver and trying to give more than I receive. I want to thank me for trying to do more right than wrong. I want to thank me for just being me at all times. Snoop Dogg, you a bad.
My number one message to entrepreneurs that I teach today is never pursue entrepreneurship for the greed of money. It has nothing to do with it at all. The whole reason to be an entrepreneur is the pursuit of freedom. That's why you do it. You do it because you want to be free one day to do whatever you like. I'm here because I want to be here. I don't have to be here. I don't even have to ever listen to a phone call again if I don't want to. That's not what I want to do. I enjoy spending my time doing the things that I want to do.
You may have arms and legs, but unless you know 3 things. Number 1, who are you and what your value is? Number 2, what is your purpose here in life? And number 3, what is your destiny when you're done here? If you don't know the answers of any of those 3 questions, you're more disabled than I.
Make sure that you are talking to yourself in a way that is loving and supportive. It became clear to me at a certain point in my life, I realized that when I am in crisis, when I have quote-unquote f***ed up, my response is, you f***ing idiot. Of course, what did you expect? If I spoke to my friends like I used to speak to myself, I would have no friends. If you do talk to yourself out loud, and I do, make sure that the words are loving and supportive and nourishing. Start the work of being your own best friend.
Winning's not loyal to you. It doesn't care about you. Winning doesn't care how sore you are. Winning doesn't care how much sleep you get. Winning doesn't care how hard you work at times. And sometimes a guy doesn't outwork you and he still wins. It isn't fair, man. Sometimes there is no justice. Winning requires all of you and then more, and it promises you nothing. It's a mastermind of creating fear and doubt in your mind. It causes setback after setback. So the question is about winning. Are you willing to sprint when the distance is unknown?
This is the gap when we start. This is the gap as you grow. Notice how you grow and they don't. So how do you close the gap? You gotta come back down. When you come back down, you lose. So you gotta keep going up. That's why closing that gap gotta be them catching up to you. And if they don't catch up, you gotta leave them behind. Because you get to the point now where you gotta start cutting out. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you can't look back when you cut them out. Because if they meant to be there, they're going to be there.
When I was born, the doctors told my parents that I would be dead within the first 24 hours of my life. 35 years later, all those doctors are dead, and I am the only doctor that remains. Never believe a prediction that doesn't empower you.
The reason why grandmama's cooking was so good, because she didn't cook Sunday dinner, Sunday evening. She started Saturday night. She let it marinate overnight. That's why it was so good. The reason why your gift is not like all these other gifts that are so microwavable is because God's put something in you that is too great. And you got to know that what's inside of you is so great that it's taking a little bit longer Because God did not call you to be microwavable.
Here's how you know if someone's your friend. You can tell them bad news, and they'll listen. They won't tell you why, you're stupid and why that bad thing happened to you and how something worse happened to them once and, derail the whole conversation. You can actually tell them bad news and they'll listen. This is a weirder thing. You can tell them good news and they'll help you celebrate. And that's a really good way of deciding who you should have around you.
Can another man say you're fired?
Absolutely.
No one can tell me that. That's priceless. But I'm here because I don't care. You enjoy having a man be able to be fired? Okay, let me ask you a question. So you're being selfish. Do you think your son enjoys you calling somebody else a boss? Don't you think your son would rather wake up with you and you can pick him up from school instead of having to do a 9 to 5? Don't you think? Yeah, but don't you have to wake up at 4 in the morning? Don't you think your son would love if his name was up there, Dash, or whatever your last name is, instead of somebody else's? My pride is in my children. If that's not what you hustlers for, you're selfish. You keep saying I'm worried about my kids. You worried about you.